Hello and welcome back. I'm Arumba. Thank you for joining me. Let's play some more Imperator Rome as Phrygia. Alright, so next we're going to move on to trying to continue fixing up this unrest situation. We've still got quite a bit of unrest up here in this state of Mysia Abretine. You see you got 2.96 unrest, 3.04, etc. Very similar to the EU4 system. We're going to send this army up here to suppress rebels, and if there are any other regions down here that need it, yeah, we got unrest down there as well. Let's dispatch this stack. Gonna rest over in this region as well. Okay, let's grab you over to here. And what we can do is, you actually have to do it from here. There's this click to assign to region. They will no longer be able to move outside this region and will be assigned instead to the local governor. We'll provide the following effect to all cities in Palestine. Or Palestine. So Palestine is it is the region. There should be a region map mode, I believe. So Palestine region is more than just the provinces themselves. So it's going to lower unrest in that whole region. So let's do that with this army. This is the region of Syria. I don't think we have any unrest. We do, it is part of that area. So we don't even need to move the army then. Let's just leave them here and have them assigned to... Oh, never mind, you can't actually assign it to your capital region. I knew that. I knew that. Alright, region. Guess we could take care of the unrest in Assyria for now. Actually, isn't any over there. Alright, let's go to Cilicia then with this army. Just have to move it over to this area here. Alright, and then this army will also go ahead and turn on Forced March. Unlike in Europe Universalis 4, where you have to wait for technology, you get access to Forced March at the beginning of the game, and it does not cost Monarch points to activate. It increases the army weight, making it heavier, as far as like supply limit, and it gives them 50% more movement speed, but prevents them from recovering army morale. I just don't care about morale right now, it's just strictly going to get them there quicker. So that is good. Okay, so we'll go ahead and unpause. Diadamia and Demetrius. The political situation has evolved quickly since the start of the Diadochi conflicts. Every state in the Hellenic world is deciding who to support and hoping that they will have backed the right horse. The kingdom of Epirus is strategically placed to be a thorn in Macedonia's side, and King Pyrrhus surely has an axe to grind with Cassander, whose armies slew his father. The marriage of Pyrrhus' sister Diadamia, once betrothed to the late son of Alexander the Great, to Demetrius, heir to our kingdom, has been suggested for some months. The Epirotes could be just the friends we need. Okay, so talking about the nation of Epirus, which is over here, and they are currently fielding 12 cohorts with 43,000 manpower. They are allied with one other person. Assuming this is going to bring us closer. Sure, let's go ahead and do it. That's fine. After long months of deliberation, the marriage of Demetrius and Diadamia has finally gone ahead. Upon her arrival in Phrygia, Diadama's chariot was escorted in an opulent procession through the Antigonia to the royal palace, where she bit the ceremonial apple presented by Demetrius. They were then married in a lavish ceremony, attended by hundreds of guests and showered with gifts, followed by a royal banquet with feasting and reveling long into the night. Oh, to be young. Cool. Seems reasonable. We might not actually have a relationship with them already. Foreign claims on the province of Osroian. The Hellenistic major power of the Seleucids has fabricated a claim on our province. That seems fine. So diplomatically, we are not allied to him yet. We have 3 out of 4 relations, so we could ally Epiros, assuming that they would accept. Except that they are a local power, while we are a major power, so we can't actually ally them. Fair enough. Well, think here for a second. People are outside our diplomatic range, so we can't do those alliances. You know, I guess we don't really need to worry about an alliance just yet. Once these armies are in position, we will assign them to the local region so that we can try to get that unrest down. We have some money that we can spend, and we're currently making 18.25 ducats a month. Taxation-wise, if we really wanted to, we could just also take down national unrest even further. Considering that the game considers this to be a difficult start, I'm going to just go ahead and say that, yeah, national unrest -1 is pretty good. Let's go ahead and take a hit to income in order to reduce the problems that we have. Every province that we own is controlled by a governor for the region of that province. So, looking at the region map mode, that means that we've got a person assigned to each region. That person then decides what they want to do with each province. For province map mode, we can see the provinces. So in this province, for example, this ruler, Mr. Rahat Bel Bit Shahapi, has decided to use the province edict local autonomy, which reduces population output by 75% and increases happiness of all pop types by 25. We can force him to do what we want, if I click on a province we actually own, by spending some diplo points, some oratory power, but that causes us to gain tyranny, and at the same time it will also change automatically if the governor is ever dead or if we change the governor. So that's something we could consider spending oratory power on, is trying to like force them to do what we want to do. What I have noticed is that when the provinces have low or no unrest, the AI governors are more likely to use things like this, religious conversion, which increases local unrest by +1, but then allows them to kind of centralize our empire by converting their religion or their culture. So one of the reasons I'm willing to spend money to reduce national unrest is to encourage the governors to switch off of this local autonomy and instead try to convert things. So hopefully that logic makes sense and you guys can understand why I did it. I'm willing to pay that price. With the rest of our money, we're probably going to want to go ahead and hire some troops. We're currently sitting at our manpower cap, which means we're wasting manpower recovery per month. Let's go ahead and get some units built. I'm going to start off by building quite a few hippies, because hippies are great, obviously. Unlike Europe Universalis 4, I love cavalry in this game. Let me just briefly explain why. A hippie is 6 ducats to hire versus archers, who cost 4 ducats, and light infantry, who cost 4 ducats. So for 50% more money, you get a unit that's on a horse, right? Breaking down this tooltip here, light infantry have attrition weight minus 50%. They're very light, so you can fit twice as many of them in a province based on its supply. But if you look at the top of the tooltip, it says army movement speed is at 2 and maneuver of 1. Maneuver is the exact same as it is in Europe Universalis 4. If you have a maneuver value of 1, that means that this unit can attack the unit across from them, and also one to the right and one to the left. So it's effectively like their flanking range. Obviously, cavalry have a better maneuver value. They can flank by 3. They also have army movement speed of 4, so they're twice as fast as light infantry or as archers. When you have an army that's comprised of multiple unit types, the slowest speed unit determines the speed of the army. So if you have an army comprised of just light cav, then that army can move twice as fast as most other armies, which makes it very easy to maneuver around your country and deal with threats quite well. So I really like horses for that reason, and the fact, if you look in this tooltip further, it says damage versus archers plus 25, damage versus light infantry plus 25. The only thing they struggle against is heavy infantry, heavy cavalry, and war elephants. So I really like them. I think that for the extra small amount of higher cost, and just like in Europe Universalis 4, higher price determines the maintenance price, so you're also paying 50% more relatively in maintenance cost. But I really like it for that reason. So these are all the places that we can train them. Real quick, let's just consider if we have in those areas any bonuses that would make it better to recruit in one place versus another. There's a specific trade good that we want called fur. I'm looking for. And we're just looking for anywhere that we can hire horses where we might have access to fur. We could also just use the trade good map mode. And if we find a province that has fur, I don't know what the color is, but I know that fur is definitely available up here. There's one. So just click on that, and then that colors all the fur in the world. We have no fur. Okay. Nothing to worry about then. But if we did have fur, trading in fur gives starting experience plus 10%. So that'd be a reason to consider training the horses in that specific location. Since we don't have that, we can just train them wherever we want. Let's go ahead and just train 10 10 more light infantry for now. Or, sorry, 10 more light cav. That was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 10. That way we're not wasting our manpower recovery over time. Okay. The Wars of the Diadochi. Having built the largest empire the world has ever seen, Alexander the Great died suddenly 10 years ago with no clear successor. His generals, the Diadochi, or successors, have since fought over Alexander's spoils. As the satrap of Phrygia, our ruler Antigonus was not part of most of the great campaigns of Alexander, but in the conflicts of the last decade, he has risen to be the most powerful of these successors. Recently, however, we have lost Persia and Babylon to Seleucus, even if we enjoy continued growing influence in Greece. Our reputation as a protector of the free Greek cities has earned us many friends among the smaller Greek states. Otherwise, we now stand alone. The empire belongs to the strongest. If you fail to conquer Corinth or lose Ascalon, Antigonia, Chalkis, or Salamis, your empire will splinter when Antigonus dies. We have gained claims on the following on Alexander's former empire: Greece, Thrace, Macedonia, Syria, Asia, Cilicia, Phrygia, obviously that's us, Assyria, a bunch of places. These claims will go away upon the death of our second ruler. So we are currently age 79, and our succession looks like this. Our primary successor is Demetrius Antigonid. He is 34 years old, so we have quite a long time with this character before these claims will disappear. Unfortunately, I have not been able to find any kind of map mode that shows your claims. The only way I've figured out that you can see who you can attack is to right-click on your country, and then look in this row of your diplomatic interface. It shows your casus belli. You can see we have a claim on Macedon, claim on Thrace, claim on the Seleucids, and claim on Egypt. So those are the people we could potentially attack without taking a stability hit based on that. Right now, we're also currently guaranteeing Aetolia and Boeotia. That is this little tiny guy here we're guaranteeing for some reason. And we're also guaranteeing Aetolia. Guarantees don't appear to show up on the map, so it's a little tricky to find them. For some reason, we've got a guarantee on this guy and this guy. Just was established at the start of the game. This is someone asking for our trade good, so we can earn 0.44 ducats a month. Army maintenance cost minus 2.5 since we're not currently exporting it. You get a bonus for having a surplus, you get a bonus for having it, and you also get a bonus for exporting. So there's really no reason not to accept this. It's just free money at this point. Alright, back to money, I think was the topic that I was on before I got distracted. Let's look at our capital area. In Syria, we have access to 4 building slots. Our citizens are very happy. Marketplaces will give us more local tax and more commerce income, as well as a thing called civilization level. Right now, our civilization is at 40, and it can't go higher than 40 because that is the current cap. Civilization cap is here. We have 10% base, 30% because we're an aristocratic monarchy. We have no oratory advances, so basically we can't become more civilized. However, if we build a marketplace in this specific city, we can start growing civilization value over time. Since this is the capital of our entire country, this is a pretty good idea to start doing. So let's go ahead and get a couple marketplaces built here. And also, we're going to want to find a location that makes sense to start trying to develop into a pretty heavy manpower centralized province. Unfortunately, we have no farmlands, which gives a pretty good bonus to trade goods. Okay, in that case, let's just find whichever one currently has the most freemen and probably make that into the central location. So that's going to be one of these two. Actually, I think I'll just make it here. Since it's got more pop already. So we're going to build, you know what, let's save our money for the most part. We don't need this just yet. We're doing fine on manpower, but we will want to have a manpower centralized spot at some point. Hey, lots of trade goods. You do have to manually accept these. going to give us quite a bit of extra trade income. Let's go ahead and grab these new horses. Have them all come together. Notice how we are suffering attrition here. The terrain of desert causes attrition in your own lands, even if it's not occupied by the enemy. Deserts are kind of inhospitable. There are a couple of alerts that I'm ignoring. The lack of commander alert is something that I don't really care about because it basically, it's not a good idea to assign land to assign a general to an army unless you need them, because over time the army will become loyal to that general, which then causes him to become disloyal to you. So you don't want to just assign generals to make this alert go away. You need to be strategic about it. It's assigning the governor, which, you know, he can get loyalty that way as well, but... Alright, can we find a province where we don't suffer attrition, please? Alright, I think unrest-wise we should be doing a lot better now. We just still have a tiny bit over there and a bit over here, but this is part of our capital region, so we can't assign it to anybody and make that go away. Why do we have such high unrest? Unhappy pops. They're very unhappy because they are the wrong religion. We're currently using civilization effort here for some reason. That's what our character just decided to do. Pay oratory power to switch off of that. We're already at max civilization, so this decision doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever. I do think we need to pay attention and get rid of this. There is a chance to civilize the nearby barbarians, which perhaps that's why the governor defaulted to that. So specifically, it says there is a 10.7% chance to increase the civilization level of adjacent barbarian strongholds by 2. This is a uncolonizable, impassable terrain province that just generates rebels, basically, over time. There's a civilization level of 6, which decreases barbarian growth. Currently, the barbarians are growing at 0.03 per month. As it grows, it'll eventually spawn barbarians, which we have to fight off. So I guess it can make sense to try to maybe mitigate that for now. I'm not going to spend any monarch points then to change it just yet. We have some families who are considered scorned. Scorned families are upset because they're not getting 2% minimum of the economy of your empire. So this family, the Attalid family, he is the head of the family. So he's alright. But then Eumenes is not... He's got nothing. So I could give him an army, which would technically make him a general, which makes him be paid, and then he would no longer be losing loyalty. He's only losing 0.1 a month due to scorned families, so it's not a huge issue. We could just ignore it, but let's see if we can find a task for this guy. 8, 7, 5, 6 are his stats. Our current guys are 10 and 7, so we could replace this guy with someone who's better, like say him. And that'll remove one of the scorned families. This family has no one with any important jobs. This guy's got awful stats. So I think we're just going to ignore that family. The bigger the family is, the more I think you need to pay attention, because, you know, if you have a family of 2 that are scorned, well, that's 2 people that are losing corruption, or losing loyalty. If you have a huge family, like say with 20 people in it, and they're scorned, then that affects many, many more people. Charinos Therid. Actually, just out of curiosity, do we lose loyalty for scorned family on kids? This kid is only 8 years old, but yes, scorned family does affect that. This guy's only got 6 oratory power. Not as good as this, but we're not currently paying for Sacrifice of the Old Gods. This is from the head, he's the head of the Therid family. Just check to see if... Yeah, okay, so replacing replacing the current guy with the guy who's slightly worse is not going to help, because they're just going to still be at 1%. Yeah, that's unfortunate. I can't make them loyal right now. Not easily. Yeah, I think for the most part I'm just going to ignore this for now. The families that are currently scorned are quite small. It shouldn't be too big of a problem. Okay, bureaucratic issues. We have issues keeping track of our satrapes as well as taking care of our people at large. With our bureaucracy stretched thin, our subjects are becoming even more unruly. And as things stand right now, we will have to care for one of the groups as we are unable to control both of them. Either choice will leave the other displeased and resentful. So Phrygia gets bureaucratic issues, national unrest, +2. We could do care for our people, loyalty of subjects, -5, and Cappadocia loses opinion. Or we can lose 254 ducats. Loyalty of subjects, -5. So loyalty of subjects is not the same thing as opinion. We've got, these guys right now have 63 loyalty, and they have quite a good opinion of us so far. Let's see, it's a 5-year modifier. National unrest +2 is pretty huge. I think I'm actually gonna pay the money. Money is not as hard to come by, I think, and I don't want to do anything that's going to destabilize the realm. I feel like this start is very similar to like the Timurids in Europe Universalis 4, where you really have to manage your subjects well and deal with the succession. So, to integrate a subject, we need to get their opinion to 190. Just out of curiosity, do we have any subjects that are close to 190 opinion? Say neighbors. Cappadocia is that 98 opinion with us, and I believe that they are currently a subject. Yep, so they are the easiest one to potentially integrate. They live right here, and they're quite a large presence on the map. Probably makes sense to immediately start improving opinion with them. We can get up to 133 over time for 37 diplo points. Sorry, 37 oratory power, my bad. Let's go ahead and say that's worthwhile. And then let's go with probably the next highest as well. Ionia, you are also a feudatory. You can also be integrated, but improve with them as well. All right, and with that all being said, I'm going to take a short break here. I'll be back in the next episode. Hope you guys are enjoying the campaign so far, and I'll see you in the next episode. See you soon.